this is the AD carry video, so let's get started. Number one on my list is probably going to come with a little bit of controversy, as will probably the rest of this list, honestly. This list is kind of based off of not just the past stats of this past split, but even further beyond. So, you know, the top two are kind of controversial in my opinion, or what I think, in your opinions, is going to be controversial. So for number one, I'm going to pick TSM's Wild Turtle. Now, there's a few reasons why I think he's going to be able to perform at the level he performed at last split, or maybe even better. Now, he was able to score 432 points total, even though the season wasn't maybe the most perfect season in the world. I think he could have done better, honestly. I'm not sure, I'm not positive, but I think that he's a consistent AD carry. He might troll sometimes, he might kill himself sometimes, he might put himself in stupid situations sometimes, but it's not all the time. And I think that just being able to break 400 points is a given to being in the top 3. But there's more. He's going to have more time to synergize with Lustboy, especially after MSI. I think another factor here is that he's going to be more motivated to get better, and also the fact that, you know, he knows it's not good enough for Worlds right now. He's not good enough for Worlds. He's not good enough to help win Worlds with the rest of TSM. So I think that's going to help him motivate himself to get better. I think management's going to find a way to help him get better as well, so they're going to work together, making himself a better ADC. And I just expect the synergy between Santorin and the rest of bot lane to be sufficient, or if not better than it was last split. And that's why I believe he's the number one ADC right now to pick for Fantasy LCS. Number two on my list is going to Reckless. Now, he wasn't a great scoring Fantasy LCS player. In fact, if you picked him last split, you were probably sorely disappointed. He ended up the 13th best scoring ADC in the LCS last split. So, quite frankly, not really the best player to have picked up in the last split. He scored just 332 points total, and it wasn't good enough, honestly. It definitely didn't meet his standards, I could guarantee you that. But if we look at the team that he was on, it wasn't necessarily a bad team. It's just the situation was just going from bad to worse. At first, when you saw him join the team, he was happy. He was happy that he had left the other team and joined Elements. But then things crumbled, and now he's back with Fnatic. So, why do I think he's number two? His last split was horrible. Why do I think he's going to do great now? I think he's going to do great for a few reasons. One reason in particular, he's on like the best team in EU LCS. Number two, the last marksman that was on that team was the highest scoring fantasy member out of anyone ever in the last split, which was Steelback with 465. So I have no reason to believe that Reckless won't either get that many points, at least break 400, at the very least. But I have no reason to believe he won't at least get 465, or if not higher, because technically he's a better player, mechanically, and, you know, all that good stuff. I think he's just a way better player than Steelback. I think Steelback was a phenomenal player, but, you know, Fnatic made the decision they made for the reasons that Reckless is kind of the veteran of the team, and, you know, he's been there longer, technically. He's been on the team longer than Steelback. But I'm also looking at, you know, Yellowstar is a fantastic support. He was able to take Yellowstar like a nobody and make him into this star. So I have no reason to think that Reckless won't benefit just as much from having his old partner Yellowstar back in the bot lane. The only problem, and the only reason I didn't put him at number one on my list, is because he did have that awful split last season, and he might have to recover from that. There's also the fact that he might not synergize with Huni, Fabivin, and Reignover. So, you know, it's up in the air right now, but I do believe they're going to synergize, and I think they're going to make a run at the best team in EU LCS. So now for my third pick, is kind of interchangeable, but I'm going for the safest pick here, not necessarily the best on paper. And I'm going with the AD carry known as the man Freeze from the Copenhagen Wolves. My fourth, the one that's interchangeable, I was going to go maybe Forgiven, but I'm a little hesitant because of the roster change. The fact that he's on a completely separate team, he's going to have to synergize with the support now. He's going to have to, you know, learn the system, basically. He's going to have to get used to all of his players. But Freeze is in a completely different scenario here. He's got everybody that was on the team last split. He was doing phenomenally towards the end of the split. He's still going to be with Unlimited, so there's more time to synergize with him. And I just think that, you know, he scored a good ton of points. He scored 416 points. So, I mean, breaking 400, again, I'm just going to emphasize that. Breaking 400 is huge. Not a lot of players are able to get to 400 points. So I think that's an important stat there, that he was able to break 400. And, you know, I know the competition is going to be rough in EU LCS, ADCs and stuff, but Forgiven's going to have the same thing. So that goes without mentioning. But I do believe Freeze is probably the safest pick. If you want to take a risk, then I guess my honorable mention here is Forgiven, because he was great last split. He was one of the best ADCs. He was in the top 3 ADCs, behind Steelback, of course. So, I mean, you could take him. It's kind of a risk in my opinion, but the risk might be worth it. I don't know. That's my honorable mention. But Freeze is my third pick here. So that's my top 3 plus the honorable mention, which I wasn't planning on including. But hope you guys liked it. If you guys have anything to say about my picks, yada yada, just put it in the comments below. I'm totally up for it. Also, I have the rest of the videos in the description below too, so you don't have to go back to the original video to find the annotations and stuff. So I hope you enjoy it, and I'll see you later.